Something about the final episode of Stranger Things feels wrong. Not loud, not explosive, not chaotic in the way the show has trained us to expect, just quietly unsettling. When the screen faded to black, it did not feel like the story had reached a natural conclusion. Instead, it felt like something was missing, like a chapter had been removed before it was fully revealed. The finale checked every box on paper: big villains, emotional goodbyes, heroic sacrifices. But emotionally, something never quite landed. Yes, the Mind Flayer returned. Yes, Vecna was finally defeated. Yes, Hawkins and the world was saved. But here's the problem. It all felt too easy. For a show built on fear, loss, sacrifice, and impossible odds, the final episode strangely lacked danger. Characters survived moments that should have killed them. Deaths that should have shattered us barely registered. And the biggest question of all, whether 11 actually died, was deliberately left unanswered. Then there was the epilogue. A 45-minute goodbye filled with time jumps, neat life updates, and emotional resolutions that felt more like a checklist than a climax. Some fans found comfort in it. Others felt it drained all remaining tension from a story that once thrived on uncertainty. And finally, there was Mike's story. Was it just a harmless Dungeons & Dragons game? Or was it the show quietly instructed us on how we are supposed to process 11's fate? Today, we are breaking everything down. 11's ending, Vecna's true role, the Mind Flayer's disappointing return, what really happened to each character, and whether Stranger Things truly ended the way it deserved. This is Stranger Things Season 5, the finale ending explained. Did 11 really die? From the moment 11 stayed behind in the Upside Down, the show wanted us to feel one thing above all else: dread. Everyone else escapes. The gate begins to close. The bomb is armed, and 11 is still standing there, alone. The framing of the scene is intentional. There is no dramatic speech, no last-second rescue, just acceptance. This moment feels final in a way Stranger Things has never fully committed to before. Throughout the series, 11 has always been the one to sacrifice herself. In Season 1, she vanishes to stop the Demogorgon. In later seasons, she repeatedly pushes herself past physical and emotional limits to protect her friends. So when she chooses to stay behind as the Upside Down is destroyed, it feels like the natural conclusion to her arc. Her reasoning is heartbreaking but logical. As long as she exists, people like Dr. Brenner and others like him will continue hunting her. They will experiment, they will manipulate, and they will hurt the people she loves to get to her. So instead of running again, she makes a choice. She stays. The explosion happens, the Upside Down collapses, and 11 is gone. At least that is what the show wants us to believe. Then the finale shifts gears. 18 months later, we find Mike telling a story during a Dungeons & Dragons game. In this story, the party's mage, clearly meant to represent 11, uses Carly's powers to deceive everyone. It appears that she dies with the Upside Down, but in truth, she survives and escapes to a distant paradise where she can finally live in peace. This moment is deliberately ambiguous. The show never confirms whether the story is literal or symbolic, and that uncertainty has divided the audience ever since. Some viewers believe this confirms 11 survived. Others believe it is nothing more than a coping mechanism. When you examine the details closely, survival simply does not add up. Carly was already dead long before 11 reached the gate or entered the abyss. The timeline does not support the idea that Carly's powers could have saved her. More importantly, 11's concept of paradise was never solitude. Her paradise was Hopper. Her paradise was Mike. Her paradise was her friends, the people who gave her a family. The idea that she would abandon all of that to live alone somewhere far away contradicts the very foundation of her character. Mike's story is not evidence of survival. It is evidence of grief. Earlier in the season, Hopper explains that life offers two paths after loss. One path is endless self-blame, the other is acceptance. Mike's story represents him choosing the second path, not rewriting reality, but learning how to live with it, which makes the hardest interpretation also the most honest one. 11 died. Vecna, Henry, and the truth about the Mind Flayer. Vecna's death should have been horrific. Instead, it was surprisingly quick. To understand why this feels so unsatisfying, we need to talk about Henry. Henry was never truly in control. From the very beginning, the Mind Flayer manipulated him. When Henry claims that the Mind Flayer needed him, it sounds powerful, but in reality, it's tragic. The scientists warned him. They knew what the Mind Flayer was capable of. They understood that it consumes everything it touches. Henry believed he was special. In truth, he was being used. The reveal that Vecna's lair exists within the dormant shell of the Mind Flayer is a strong concept. It reinforces the idea that Henry was never the true master, only a vessel. But when the Mind Flayer finally awakens, the execution falls flat. What should have felt like an apocalyptic confrontation instead plays out like a brief boss fight. Vecna is pierced. The heart turns black. The threat ends. This is the same entity that haunted the show for 4 seasons, the same presence that corrupted Hawkins from the shadows, and yet it never truly feels like the group is in danger. In Season 4, Vecna was terrifying. His kills were slow, intimate, and cruel. In the finale, he barely feels threatening. The Mind Flayer, once an omnipresent force of horror, becomes less frightening once it takes physical form. Joyce delivering the killing blow is emotionally resonant, but narratively rushed. She plays a minimal role in the finale, yet receives one of its most critical moments. The idea works, the execution does not. The Mind Flayer was far more effective when it was unseen, when it existed as a presence rather than a monster. By making it physical, the show stripped it of its mystique. This was the finale's greatest missed opportunity. The epilogue and the cost of comfort. The epilogue is long, very long. We learn where everyone ends up. Hopper and Joyce get engaged and prepare to move away. Will finds a place where he can truly be himself. Mike becomes a writer. Dustin continues his pursuit of knowledge. Lucas and Max find peace together. Steve becomes a baseball coach. Jonathan pursues filmmaking. Robin works at a radio station. And Nancy leaves Emerson and joins the Herald. On paper, it's satisfying. Emotionally, it's deflating. After the world nearly ends, the show immediately assures us that everything works out. There is no lingering fear, no unresolved tension, no lasting cost. The final scene with a new generation playing Dungeons & Dragons is symbolic. It suggests that the spirit of adventure lives on, but it's also safe. It offers comfort without showing the pain required to earn it. The problem is not the idea of the epilogue, it's the timing. This goodbye either needed to be shorter or earned through deeper sacrifice. Final verdict. Did Stranger Things stick the landing? Stranger Things did not fail, but it did not soar. Season 4 remains the high point of the series. It had fear, horror, and genuine stakes. The Season 5 finale feels rushed despite its length. Too much time was spent saying goodbye, too little time was spent making us afraid. At no point did it feel like the group might actually lose, and that's the finale's biggest flaw. Still, the show will be remembered fondly. The characters mattered, the journey mattered. The ending did not ruin the story. It just didn't deliver everything it promised. That's Stranger Things Season 5, the finale ending explained. What did you think of the ending? Let me know in the comments. If you want more Stranger Things content, check out the playlist and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.